Picture this. You're standing in a vast, desolate landscape. The air is so sharp it almost hurts to breathe, and the sun is just relentless. And there, against the horizon, is this lone goat. It has a single crimson ribbon tied to its horns, a flash of color in all that brown and beige. And with a final push, it's sent away, sent off a cliff, into the wilderness, carrying this invisible weight for an entire people. Now, this haunting image, it isn't just some dusty old story. It's actually a key, a clue to a spiritual technology so profound, it might just rebalance the entire cosmos.
The Zohar, which is really the source code for Kabbalah, gives us this incredibly strange clue. It says the goat, the seir, is a portion, like a meal, for the other side. Now think about that. This isn't about fighting some dark force. It's not about defeating it. It's about feeding it. It's almost like a strategic payment, a cosmic bribe to get this other force to just back off and leave the system alone, which you have to admit is totally counterintuitive to how we normally think about dealing with negativity, right?
So that leaves us with a huge question. Are we looking at some primitive, superstitious ritual that was born out of fear? Just a relic from the past? Or, and this is the exciting part, are we actually looking at something unbelievably sophisticated? A kind of spiritual engineering, a technology for the soul itself designed to keep the entire universe in balance? Well, that is exactly what we are going to unpack today.
To really get this, we've got to put ourselves there. So, on one hand, you have the sanctuary. Inside, it's all about absolute purity. You can almost smell it. The fragrant incense, you can see the shimmering gold, the clean white linens. There's this tangible feeling of holiness in the air. But then, right on the other side of the wall is the wilderness, the untamed, the unknown, the home of these raw, chaotic forces. And this whole ritual, this whole technology, it plays out right on that razor's edge between cosmic order and, well, entropy.
And get this wasn't some rare, once-in-a-century event. The Zohar is clear that a version of this happened every single month at the new moon. And of course, there's the most famous one of all on Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. So you see, this was a core recurring maintenance protocol. It was the system's way of doing a monthly reboot, of clearing the cosmic cache to keep everything running smoothly. Okay, so let's really dive in. Because to grasp the mechanics here, we need to do a little translation. We're going to take this ancient ritual and reframe it. We're going to stop thinking of it as a sacrifice and start seeing it as a brilliant, top-tier act of cosmic cybersecurity.
Look at how cleanly this maps onto modern tech. You've got a cosmic threat, this accuser, which is basically like a hostile process running on a server, eating up all the resources. Its target? The core system, the mainframe, which is the sanctuary, the divine presence we call the Shekhinah. The attack vector is like a denial-of-service attack. Just a constant, relentless stream of accusations designed to crash the system. So what's the solution? It's genius. The goat offering, the sa'ir, acts like a perfectly engineered decoy packet, a honeypot that's designed to draw the attack away from the mainframe and send it somewhere harmless.
Now, this attacker, in Kabbalah it's called the Sitra Achra, the other side. It isn't some cartoon villain. It's much more like a fundamental force of nature, like gravity or entropy. It's the cosmic principle of harsh, unbending judgment, what the mystics call din, and it actually has a job to do. But if you let it run wild inside the holy system, which runs on mercy and connection, it just causes chaos. So the goal isn't to destroy this force. You can't. The goal is to manage it.
So, how does this all actually work under the hood? I mean, what are the real mechanics of this cosmic firewall? To get that, we have to look at the source code of reality itself. We're going deep into the Sephirot, the 10 fundamental energies or emanations that are basically the operating system of creation. Okay, let's just focus on 3 key players in our cosmic computer. First, you've got Malchut, the kingdom. This is our world, the core system that's being targeted. It's symbolized by the moon because it doesn't have its own light. It only reflects light from above, making it vulnerable. The attack itself comes from Gevurah, which is the raw force of judgment. It's a necessary power, but when it gets out of balance, it becomes this constant stream of accusation. And connecting everything is Yesod, the foundation. This is the channel, the conduit that all divine energy has to flow through. And the whole game is about keeping that channel pure.
And this is where the engineering is just breathtaking. The Hebrew word for the goat is sa'ir. The domain of Esau, the source of this whole accusatory energy, is called seir. Do you hear that? Sa'ir, seir. They sound exactly the same. The decoy is literally named after the attacker's home turf. This is no accident, it's precision engineering. The decoy packet is coded in such a way that it's absolutely irresistible to that one specific hostile process. It's designed to grab its attention and pull all its energy away from the real target. The solution is literally hidden inside the name of the problem itself. It's amazing.
But why does this work? I mean, why not just build a bigger firewall or try to destroy the attacking force? Because the system has a deep wisdom. It understands that this force of judgment, of din, it isn't just evil. It has a necessary role to play in the cosmos. It just needs to be kept in its own lane. So the goal here is not annihilation. It's about balance and redirection.
This raw, untamed force of Gevurah is always symbolized by the color red. Think fire, think blood, think severe judgment, that's din. This is the energy that fuels all accusation. And it's incredibly powerful. You need it to create boundaries and structure in the universe. But when that red energy flows inward into the sacred system where it doesn't belong, it just burns everything up. So the goat, by being sent out into the wilderness, effectively grabs all of this red energy and externalizes it. It literally redirects the fire hose of judgment away from the sanctuary. And what happens when you remove that harsh, overwhelming red? Well, the system can finally return to its natural, pristine state, which is pure white. White is the color of chesed, of loving kindness, of mercy, of flow. This so brilliantly shows the goal. The ritual isn't about erasing sins. It's about transforming a system on fire with red judgment back into one that radiates with white mercy.
And this right here, this quote gets to the absolute core philosophy of this whole technology. You don't get into a head-on losing battle with a fundamental force of the universe. That's a fool's errand. Instead, you do something much smarter. You acknowledge it. You acknowledge its hunger, and you give it its designated portion, its energetic meal, but you do it in a controlled way, outside the city walls. And because it's satisfied, it willingly leaves the holy system alone.
Okay, this is all fascinating on a cosmic scale, right? But what on earth does this have to do with us, today, in our own lives? How does this ancient blueprint apply to our own internal operating systems? Well, let's reframe it one last time. How can you engineer your own personal scapegoat?
Let's use a video game analogy. Think of your inner peace, your soul, as your main base. All of a sudden, you're under attack from this horde of negative thoughts, your inner critic, your anxiety, all those obsessive worries. That's the stream of accusation. Now, trying to fight every single one of those thoughts at the front gate is exhausting, and frankly, you're going to lose. The winning move, the high-level strategy, is to deploy a decoy. You send up a flare, you create a distraction that pulls the entire horde's energy away from your base. That gives you the breathing room you need to build up your defenses and protect what matters.
So here's what that actually looks like. Let's say your inner critic starts its attack, right? You're not good enough, you're going to fail. Instead of arguing with it, which just gives it more energy, you redirect that critical, analytical force into a really focused, complex creative project. You give it a constructive portion to chew on. Or maybe you're feeling totally overwhelmed by all the negativity on the newsfeed. Instead of just drowning in it, you deploy a decoy. You channel that feeling of wanting to fix everything into one specific tangible act of service. See what's happening? You aren't destroying the negative energy, you are strategically giving it a new job to do far, far away from your inner sanctuary. And when it's all said and done, this entire sophisticated technology, whether it's on a cosmic scale or a deeply personal one, it all serves one single, absolutely crucial purpose: to maintain a pure and unbroken connection. That constant stream of accusation is just static. It's cosmic and psychic noise that just garbles the signal. But when the sanctuary, the Shekinah, is pure and free from that static, the moon can perfectly reflect the light of the sun. The connection becomes crystal clear. Blessings, insight, creativity, and peace can flow down without any interference. This whole ritual is the ultimate noise-canceling protocol, making sure the signal between the divine and our world and between our highest self and our daily consciousness remains pristine. So as we close, the real question for you isn't what inner demon do I need to slay? That's the old way of thinking. The new question is, what is my decoy? What negative energy, what internal accuser can you strategically give a new, constructive job to this week? What portion can you offer out to the wilderness so that your own inner sanctuary can be filled with light?
Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.